Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Luke Live online. I'm Father James DeLucio, and yes, this is a Friday night Luke Live online. On Tuesday, I was traveling. I didn't get back to New York City until after midnight, and I didn't have the opportunity to pre-record a Luke Live online, and so tonight you get Friday night Luke Live online, and on a subsequent video you will hear Friday night Young at Heart. Now, this Luke Live is going back to Luke's text. The past couple times we just had some reflections on some themes from Luke. This is chapter 19, the beginning of 19. Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem, anticipating the hostility he will receive, and yet being steadfast in his mission. And here we have a delightful reprieve from the seriousness of and the sense of foreboding that we heard in the previous chapters. So, this might be one of your favorite passages. It is one of mine, and I think a favorite of short people everywhere. So here we begin with chapter 19. He came to Jericho and intended to pass through the town. Now, a man there named Zacchaeus, a chief tax collector and a wealthy man, was seeking to see who Jesus was, but he could not see him because of the crowd, for he was short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree in order to see who Jesus was, who was about to pass that way. When he came to the place, Jesus looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, come down quickly, for today I must stay at your house." He came down quickly and received him with joy. When they all saw this, they began to grumble, saying, "He has gone to stay at the house of a sinner." But Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Behold, half of my possessions, Lord, I shall give to the poor, and if I have extorted anything from anyone, I shall repay it 4 times over." And Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, for this man too is a descendant of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save what was lost." It's a great passage, and there's so many ways to engage in a dialogue about it. First, of course, short in stature, low on the totem pole of society in addition to his actual minimal height. So we have a double meaning here of him being short in stature. We also have the sense that he's seeking some release from not only the attitudes of people towards him, but really from his own way of living. He's tired of it. He's a little fed up. He's been on the edge of greed, and he doesn't like it. So he's seeking something, some release. He wants to seek who Jesus was. And then, of course, Jesus says at the end, the Son of Man has come to seek. So we've got this wonderful 2 points coming together. Zacchaeus is seeking, Jesus is seeking. God seeks us out, always wanting us to observe and seek and find the presence of the Lord, which is everywhere. Jesus is an extension of that. And sometimes, okay, I'm still going. Sometimes, my photo booth stops, but it went dark, but now it's continuing. So here we are. So it's a wonderful sense of the dynamic. We seek, God seeks us, and then we can come together. Also, Jesus says this man too is a descendant of Abraham. Now, many times in his arguments with religious leaders, Jesus keeps saying, you don't understand. You're claiming that you're children of Abraham, but you're not getting it because you're not having the spirit of Abraham. And what is that? That is complete surrender to God. Abraham moves from Ur of the Chaldeans, from his very own home. He trusts that something is something and someone, as he comes to identify the God who became the God of Israel, one of Abraham's descendants, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, that there's something greater, something bigger than the life he led. And he was leading a good life in Ur. He brought his wife Sarah and the flocks and the concubines. He brought everybody, all the things there. And then, as you know, he actually shared some of the land with Lot. He learned that they had to have a peaceful negotiation of how they were going to use this new land. He has a generous spirit, Abraham. He's not greedy. He didn't want to take it all. He said Lot should have his portion. And then, of course, that great hospitality of Abraham from the messengers that came from God at the tree of Mamre, who tell the weary Abraham, because even saints get weary, hey, you're still going to have a child. They're still going to be part of the promise that God has given you. It's not just a metaphor. There's something real and tangible coming on. And we see that when Jesus affirms Zacchaeus as a child, a descendant of Abraham, these are all coming together. Zacchaeus realizes half of his possessions he can give them away, just the way Abraham shared half of the land with Lot. Go ahead, we're going to share this. I don't have to have it all. And also, it's good news, for in contrast to the other parts of the gospel where Jesus says, "Give up everything for me." Hey, Zacchaeus got off easy. He just had to give away half. But in the end, it's again who possesses who. And Zacchaeus wasn't ultimately possessed by his wealth. He was able to be generous. And as we know, elsewhere, Luke says there were many women who supported Jesus and the apostles and disciples out of their resources, including Mary Magdalene, Johanna, the daughter of Herod's steward Susa, Susanna, and many others. So there's a nice sense of balance here in everything. And the same thing in terms of Abraham, a sense of generosity, a sense of sharing, not giving up everything, but still participating in relationships and honoring God. So Zacchaeus gives us lots of food for thought. And it's not just a parable for short people either. So thank you so much for joining me. If you wait a bit and check out YouTube or Facebook in the next half hour or so, you will find a Friday night Luke Live online. So see you then. God bless. Have a good night. Bye.